Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah, and today I thought I would just do kind of like a modified laundry chat with you guys. I have a lot of stuff in this room because this is going to be my baby girl's room when she's here, and there's just a lot of stuff that I need to wash. I need to get organized, so I'm going to be taking tags off things, putting them in piles of what I need to wash in terms of clothes and blankets and all of that. So while I work on that, I thought I would just chat with you guys. There's a couple topics that I thought would be fun to discuss, and let's jump right on in. I have a few of these baskets here that I'm using as just like really simple laundry baskets. For now, I might get like a nicer type of laundry bin for her room that matches when I'm a little bit more confident on what color would look good in here. But these are actually from the dollar store. Highly recommend them. I use them for just random storage, or in this case I'm actually using them for laundry, which is funny. But I have this one too. This is from the dollar store as well. I think I'm gonna just put all of like the tags and garbage type stuff in here. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is an update on potty training, because I did a laundry chat probably about a month ago, and I told you guys we're gonna start potty training soon, kind of updated you on what the game plan was, and we did actually start potty training, but here's the update on it. So my son is gonna be 21 months in a couple days, and I feel like he is smart enough to get the concept, but he doesn't have a lot of interest in it. Like, he doesn't have a lot of self-motivation. He kind of just goes with the flow. He doesn't really pay attention when he has to go to the bathroom. He never tells me if he has a dirty diaper. Even when I ask him if he has a dirty diaper, he won't even acknowledge it. So I feel like he just doesn't have a lot of interest in it. He doesn't see a lot of benefit in it for him right now. So that's kind of where we're struggling. I think he gets the concept. He has gone on the potty multiple times, and actually he's pooped more than he's peed, which is interesting. And I think it's mostly because I can tell when he has to poop, so I can facilitate that and like make it happen. And so we were going pretty hard for a few days on that, and he was, you know, struggling a little bit, but he was making some progress, and he was going on the potty every once in a while. And so I was just gonna do a few days of like really all day, stay home, take him every few minutes, and then see how it went and see how he was reacting to it. So we did that. That was maybe 2 weeks ago. And I just feel like he was starting to get really frustrated because he didn't want to go to the bathroom on the potty. He is kind of just fine in diapers right now. He does really love washing his hands and flushing the toilet though. So I was trying to use that as an incentive to get him excited about it, but it just wasn't really working. I think he just needs more time to understand like the discomfort of going in your diaper, because right now he's kind of clueless to it, and he just wants to keep playing, and he just doesn't really see the benefit. I feel like you need to wait until the toddler like really understands like, hey, I don't have to wear diapers anymore. This would be awesome. And I don't have to sit and poop anymore. That would be cool too, you know? And then they're like self-motivated to do it. Because right now he's just like, just put my diaper back on. He literally, when I take his diaper off and put him on the toilet, it's like reaching for his diaper. Because he's like, I just want to go back in my diaper and keep playing. So I think what we're gonna do is maybe keep an eye out every once in a while, maybe talk about it with him, see if he's interested in going, but really not push it hard. We're also gonna be moving in I think it's about 6 months now. So I feel like that's gonna be hard to, like, trying to potty train and then move to a whole new place and everything. So I feel like I'm probably not gonna hit it hard again until we move, but just kind of keep it in the back of my mind, see if he wants to go every once in a while. If it looks like he has to go, maybe I'll take him. But I just feel like he needs a little bit more time to really like be into it himself, instead of me forcing every little thing on him and him just fighting me the whole way. So that's kind of where we are. I think we just need more time on that, and I'm fine with that. I was thinking it would be nice to have him mostly potty trained by the time baby number 2 came. But I mean, that's just not gonna happen at this point, and that's fine with me. I think every toddler is gonna go at their own pace, and I don't think that necessarily means anything negative. It's just, that's the time that's gonna work for them. So we're probably looking at more like 2.5 for him being potty trained, which I think is fine. This is a really big, like soft baby blanket that I got on this one side. It's light pink with like gold stars and moons. And then on this side, it's just like a really fluffy light pink. I got this at Bye Bye Baby, I'm pretty sure. It's Just Born brand, but freaking love this blanket. It's so soft, it's so cute. I'm gonna have a lot of light pinks in here, as you can tell probably from all of the stuff that I'm showing you. Here's another like small little like waffle light pink blanket. I just wanted like a really thin one that's really simple. This would probably be like a really good stroller blanket. So yeah, right now I'm going through like all the swaddles and towels and blankets. I'm gonna get to some clothes in a little bit. So that's perfect. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is toddler beds, because that's a whole new thing that's coming up too that I have no experience with. And I feel like this is like a common thing where when you have your second kid, you're kind of like about on the fence of like, all right, do we just take the crib away from your first child and give him to the second child? Because to me, it makes absolutely no sense to buy a new crib when we're so close to getting him to a toddler bed. So what we're thinking right now is when the baby is about maybe 2 to 3 months, that's about when we're gonna start putting her in the crib. That's what we did with my son. And I think by 4 months, he was like sleeping through the night in his own crib, and it just worked out really well and we didn't have any problems there. So hoping that's the same situation for a baby girl. But we have a really nice Halo bassinet that we'll use in our room until then for our baby girl. For Dean, we're just gonna take his crib and give it to baby girl when she's 2 or 3 months old, and then get him a toddler bed. And I think that's gonna be a pretty good time frame. This is a really cute little swaddle. This is Chickpea brand, and I got this from TJ Maxx, I believe. So he's gonna be a little over 2 at that point. The thing that freaks me out about it is he is a very active child. He loves to play. He'll see a toy across the room and scream about it. So if he is in his room with any toys in there, I feel like he's gonna constantly just be getting up and playing with toys, which I'm sure is a common problem, right? So I wanted to wait as long as I could so that he had some time to like not be so crazy and like understand when we like tell him, you're going to sleep now, you're gonna sleep on your own, you're gonna stay in this bed until we tell you you can get out of bed or whatever. I feel like he just right now, he wouldn't understand that conversation, but if we give him a few months, I feel like he might. So a little over 2, I think, is when we're gonna make that transition. So first of all, I'm wondering, is that a good age to do that? I know it kind of depends. I've seen people do it at younger than 2. And I've seen people wait till they're like 3. So I don't know, I guess it kind of just depends on the child, but in terms of our need as a family, we're kind of needing him to be done with the crib around that time. And we could buy a second crib and kind of, we have the IKEA like natural wood crib. We could transition that to like a more toddler type bed, take off one of the rails. But that's not gonna last him that long because it's still a really small little bed and we'd have to get him a like toddler bed after that anyway. So it just makes the most sense to use the IKEA crib for our new baby and then get him an actual like bigger toddler bed. So on that note, I don't know if it's like, I don't know the best way to do that either. I don't know if we just get like a twin bed and just get a really good rail for it. Because I feel like it's just silly to buy all of these different beds that are like slightly bigger, slightly bigger. I feel like we should just jump to a twin, but then you have to make sure that like they can get in it. So not too overwhelming. So I don't know, I'm curious what most people do because I don't have a lot of experience with this. Do you buy just a really small little like actual toddler bed, or do you buy a twin bed and then you just put some good rails on it and then they could use that for literally like the rest of their life? I mean, the rest of their childhood. That sounds good to me, but I don't know. I'm gonna need to do some more research on that. I have some time, but that's kind of the next thing that we need to start thinking about, how we're gonna tackle that. Another thing I've been thinking about a lot recently that I feel like is a common concern with moms and pregnant women is the whole breastfeeding thing, because I'll tell you a little bit about my history with breastfeeding. I have always been under the idea that breastfeeding is the best option if you can, and like my whole life I just assumed I would breastfeed. My mom breastfed me and my sister the entire time. She said, I never once used a pump, I never bottle fed, I just breastfed, and that's how you did it back then, I guess. And so she, when she was here for a few weeks, was like so confused, like, why do you even have a breast pump? Why do you need that? Luckily I had one because I instantly was trying to breastfeed my son, but he was born a month early and I had preeclampsia and HELLP syndrome. And I was on all these different drugs and things to help me and to not let me have a seizure and to try to get me to go into labor, and just like all of these things were happening. And then I ended up with a C-section, and I just feel like my body never had a chance to just like understand what was happening. There was just a lot going on. So I never really got to a place where I was like producing a lot of milk. I think at the max, I was pumping like maybe 3 ounces at a time. And I was doing that like every 2 hours. That was probably like my max. I'm gonna start going through all of our newborn size clothes right now. And you guys, I don't know if you can see this very well. It's friggin' adorable. I got this from Bye Bye Baby just a few days ago. It's Baby Starters brand. So cute. I only have a handful of things that are newborn, and I have a lot of stuff that's like 0 to 3 and 3 months, because usually I'm thinking a newborn can fit into like 0 to 3 even when they're fairly new. So I think I'm gonna get a lot more use out of that size, because if I run out of the newborn clothes and she really is small, I'll just like roll up stuff, or you know, just put her in something that's a little bit big, but not a big deal. So I just got a lot of like, just really girly, cutesy little newborn things, mostly like to take cute pictures in. And then I think she'll probably be living more in like the 0 to 3, like basic, like comfortable onesies. So back to breastfeeding. I instantly tried breastfeeding. We couldn't get him to latch. I was so tired because I was on magnesium, which makes you like out of it. Like I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was falling asleep more often than the newborn baby was falling asleep, and he had jaundice. So that's really bad. So like they were trying to help me learn, and I was just like so tired and so out of it. I kept trying. I went home. I was using a nipple shield. I tried like everything I could think of, all different like positions and techniques and everything, and I think the biggest issue I was having is my nipples just are really like short. And so him being like premature, he wasn't in the NICU at all, so he just came straight home with us, weighing like 5.5 pounds or something, like, because he had lost a little bit of weight. He was born at just over 6. And so he, at his lowest, he dropped to like 5.5. He was just little and struggling, and he didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. And so I just feel like the whole thing, we were just not set up for success. So I'm hoping we don't have any of those issues this time around. Maybe I can breastfeed, but I also still understand that I have fairly short nipples that don't make it easier on the baby. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna try. But what I ended up doing after a lot of soul searching and like feeling really guilty about the fact that I couldn't breastfeed, I decided I was going to just exclusively pump. And I was giving him most of what he needed from breast milk. So that was awesome, and it was still a way to make it happen. But slowly my milk supply just wasn't keeping up with what he needed, so it was just less and less of a percentage of his daily need that was breast milk. And eventually I just got to the point where I was like, it's not worth it to me to be pumping all day every day and not giving him even half of what he needs. So I kind of just slowly transitioned out, and I went back to work, and we went 100% on formula. So he was on breast milk for about 3 months, and then we transitioned to 100% formula at that point. First of all, look at this dress. It's a newborn size, but it's like a fancy, like, could be like a wedding type of dress. It's Just One You by Carter's. I got this at Target, and makes absolutely no sense, but I figured we can get some cute pictures in this. And it's a fairly like comfortable material, but it's definitely not practical to put your newborn in like a lace dress, but you know, you gotta have a couple of those. So this time around, I'm going to definitely try to go the 100% breastfeeding route, knowing that I can pump as a backup option, and I'll try to pump as long as I can if I can't breastfeed. But it just sucks knowing that it was such a struggle, and it took so much out of me, and it made me feel like such a bad person for so long with my son. Like, I just don't want to do that again. So I'm going to try to not beat myself up this time and just like kind of go with the flow. And if it's not working, it's not working, but I will still give her as much breast milk as I can for as long as I can. The good thing this time around is I am staying at home. So if I do want to pump a couple times a day for longer than those 3 months, I'm not going back to work. So I could keep that going for longer if I want to, if I have a decent supply at that point. And if I don't have preeclampsia and she's not born early, we might have a lot more success. So that's what I'm hoping for. But I just wanted to share like my thoughts and my story with you guys for breastfeeding, because I feel like it's complicated for a lot of women. A lot of people do not have this straightforward journey where the baby latches and smooth sailing. There's a lot of people who use pumps frequently. There's a lot of people who bottle feed frequently, and it's not a clear cut, I breastfeed or I formula feed. I feel like there's a lot of people who are kind of mixing it up and doing a little bit of both. And I think that's awesome, because just do what you can do. I mean, I always had thought through the whole process, as long as I'm giving him a little bit of breast milk, it's better than not giving him anything. I'm at least giving him a little bit of those good things that you can only get out of breast milk. And that's what I can do, then that's what I'm gonna do. But I felt bad about not being able to breastfeed, but at the same time, I tried a lot of methods to increase my supply and to try to get him to latch, and nothing was working. And so at a certain point, I feel like it's important to just say, this is what I can do at this point, but I'm gonna do that, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it. So with that mindset going into it, I'm hoping this time we'll have more success, but also I won't have as much guilt and just anxiety about the whole process. Moving on to a couple of the 0 to 3 and 3 month size pieces. So I think that's most of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. First of all, I'm a huge fan of baby sweaters, and especially on little girls. And I have like 10 of them, and I love like this light pink. I'm gonna have fun with a baby girl in the winter. It's gonna be awesome. But I just love doing these little chats with you guys because it's very casual, and I would love it if you guys could comment down below just your thoughts on what I'm talking about, and maybe if I do another one of these sometime soon, some other topics that you would like me to talk about. I kind of just go with what I'm interested in and what is kind of at the top of my mind, but let me know if there's something that you are currently dealing with or thinking about and you would like me to do a mom chat or Q&A or something like that on. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please consider subscribing and joining my family here, and like this video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.